Welcome to Go Get This Podcast, a podcast, but we haven't quite decided yet. We're going to keep doing it anyway. I'm Colby.
And I'm three cats in a trench coat trying to get into an R-rated movie. But you can call me Fee.
Okay, Fee. Well, you've introduced this lore. Now you've got which R-rated movie?
Oh shit! What R-rated movie?
What are R-rated movies? That's what this whole podcast is about. Hello.
We talk about R-rated movies. That's what we do.
Welcome to the MPAA.
What's an R-rated movie out? Is Nope still out? Is that R-rated?
I think it's out, and it probably is R-rated. Let's see. Nope.
I'll say Nope. But
yep. Nope is currently out and is currently R-rated.
I am not going to spoil that movie. I've never seen it, but I was spoiled on the whole thing on purpose.
Good. Don't spoil the stream.
So, by the way, the alien... No, I'm just kidding. Like 1 minute into the stream, just spoiling movies.
Yeah, you know what? Turns out in Nope, actually, the alien was just pregnant the whole time. Very weird.
It turns out in the movie, like, the alien was coming to Earth. He saw it and said, nope, left.
Yeah. That's the whole movie. They like the trailer that you saw for Nope. That's actually the whole movie. It's very subversive.
And Jordan Peele done it again.
Is it you crazy man? You've done it.
You ghoul. I don't know. I don't know what is a adverb maybe. I don't know.
An adverb.
An adverb for like good or like silly, crazy. I don't know.
Well, adverbs are the ones that end in ly.
Adjective.
Adjective. That's the one.
I knew it started with an A.
There's my Fee who passed the Texas tests to determine that he can read.
Not just the test. I passed the bar. I'm a lawyer.
I am a lawyer in Texas. You know what? After all of the things that Texas has done in the past 2 years, it would not surprise me if you were.
Oh my God. I couldn't imagine having my own law firm. I don't know what I'd do. Your Honor, in my defendant's
defense, probably, I imagine.
Yeah, in my defendant's defense.
It's in the word, Fee.
He said no takesies backsies. So,
he did say no takesies backsies, okay? You all heard it.
So he can't be held accountable, liable, even.
No one can be held. You know what? This is a kangaroo court. I don't really know what that means. I think it means that we're Australian.
I would say, I thought we were in Texas, not in the outback. Take your
and then you hop out like a kangaroo and they're like, well, I guess he wins. I don't know. I don't know what did we do now.
To prove that we're from Texas, I roll up like an armadillo right out the door. I don't know.
The amount of weird stuff that happens in Florida makes me think that amount of weird stuff happens in Texas too, because the two are like almost parallel states. And the reason why we know so much about like man on lawnmower drives into liquor store is because like Florida doesn't seal those documents, and so the news can just like report on them all the time. So like man in Texas may be driving into manure factory to have a nap and get arrested. We won't know about it.
Dude, well, Texas is very hush hush. They don't want to be like that much embarrassed. We're already like embarrassing, but we don't want like other people know like, oh, man got married to a rattlesnake today. Just things like that. I mean, well, those are the fun cases. We could let those out, but like, I don't know. What's something like Texas wouldn't want its state brethren to know about?
Oh God. I feel like anything that would diminish the sort of macho vibe that Texas has. So if it's like, I don't know, somebody vandalized a sign and painted a nice flower on it. You can't, no flower. We don't paint no flowers here.
Texas governor caught in a pink apron, like making scrambled eggs for his children.
Texas governor caught making cookies. Everybody is like, that's what ousted Greg Abbott. Is people are like, He was a man making cookies.
His gun wasn't
I've never
even
heard
loaded.
something so craven.
His gun wasn't loaded. His shotgun was in the case, not even out.
He wasn't even hugging it or nothing.
He didn't even give it his own plate of cookies. He left it there hungry. That's Texas for you. Fucking.
I just like, because you hear there's a lot of really good headlines that come out of Florida that are like completely harmless, and then there's also like really really bad ones that come out. It really is a crapshoot when you start reading a Florida man headline, because so there's a thing going around where you're supposed to like you Google Florida man and then your birthday, and so I did this.
I never heard of that.
Oh, it's good. It's very good. I did this, and here's an example of the gamut of articles that you find.
Okay, well,
Florida man charged with pouring ketchup on girlfriend. Excellent article. Like,
hold on, I'm gonna type in my birthday now.
that is peak Florida man. Florida man charged with pouring ketchup on girlfriend. And then a couple down, another drugged out Florida man gets naked and bites off a chunk of human flesh. Okay, well,
Okay, hold on.
that's less fun.
This is the first one for my birthday, Florida. Florida man finds alligators getting to know each other, quote unquote, as mating season heats up.
Why is that news? Like, they know when mating season is.
They started courting in early April as temperatures heat up.
Ooh, temperature's heating up.
So are the alligators.
Ooh, is it just me or is it getting hot?
Oh, dude. Florida man shoveling spaghetti in mouth arrested at Olive Garden.
Okay, great. Because that, honestly, halfway through when you paused, I went, uh-oh, this is going to be a bad headline. It's going to be like Florida man shoveling spaghetti in mouth vomits disease into the queen's eyes or whatever, right?
Like, oh, God, not the queen.
Oh!
It's too soon. Now we got to fucking Pledge of Allegiance, Texas allegiance to His Majesty the King. And his gross fucking swollen bee sting hands.
Oh man, you saw that too? Yeah, that was posted on, so like somebody reposted, I believe it's an old image of now King Charles, I guess.
Yeah.
And his hand was just as swollen. It was so swollen that it looked like it could, like the skin could have split at any second, and I don't know what hand juice would have come out. But he like
hand juice.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's in hands. Who knows?
It's a mystery to science.
But they posted that image, and of course, like when you post anything on Reddit, immediately here comes like sauntering up like the hero of the internet, some guy who's like, I'm a doctor, and that is congenital heart failure. Looks like we won't have a king for long. I was like, what?
He may be king now, but this time next month, not even.
He won't. He not only will he not be alive, he won't even have ever existed. That's what kind of disease he has.
King who? I don't know. Fucking. Ew, but
it's already happening. Oh God.
Fucking. Someone took my memories of Minority Report.
Yeah. Oh no! It's just like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Oh no! Oh
no! We got to make data versions of ourselves to jump back into our memory to find our memory. Is that?
Yep.
That's the game. That's a stupid premise.
Man, that's not the only time that Kingdom Hearts used that though. Like Kingdom Hearts Dark Road just ended, and a lot of the game takes place in Data Daybreak Town, and then but like in Data Daybreak Town, there's this machine where you get into this pod, and that'll transform you from Data Daybreak Town into real Daybreak Town, and the whole plot is that they're gonna trap these evils inside of Data Daybreak Town. They're going to get them to go into Data Daybreak Town, and then everybody's going to run away, and they're going to delete Data Daybreak Town and destroy the things. And that's like what that says to me is that the concept of a world if you built like Minecraft, if like you start up a new world in Minecraft, it's real. You can get a pig from Minecraft and take him out if you believe in your heart enough.
I'm telling you, Kingdom Hearts should branch off from Disney and like start going to other games. Like, how sick would that be?
It would be. Yeah. Like, I've never been a super big Disney person. Number one, I grew up watching Disney movies occasionally, but like I feel like more of my formative years were like video games and cartoons, which that would be kind of sick if it was like whatever, we're in the middle of Kingdom Hearts 4 and Sora just gets out of the gummy ship onto a weird planet, and like camera pans into a city, and there's just like a lot of like realistic people walking around, and it pans in further to the street, and all of a sudden like the fucking sewer manhole gets like jutted off, and then he jumps out and he's got a turtle shell on his back. He's like, ah,
dude, that's fucking sick. Goofy with this turtle shell shield.
Oh, that'd be sick.
And Donald with like his, I don't know, I would say Sai, or I mean Katana, but like it has to be a
but he's a mage, so it's got to be like it's got to be like bow staff, right? It's got to be like bow staff with a little crook on it.
Well, I would say Donatello's bow staff, but let's go with Splinter's like walking staff. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that walking staff actually looks a lot more magical than the bow staff. Yeah.
See, yeah,
I'm with you.
Because like Splinter's like a master of the mystic arts.
Yeah, Splinter's old, and that's how you can tell that he knows magic.
Like the Splinter mythology is like very different. Like so in the 80s cartoon, he was a man turned like rat man by the ooze.
Yeah.
And like in the movie, he was a rat turned I guess man rat.
Rat turned man rat.
And you know, vice versa. That's it. They always like mix it up. I don't know about the OG Turtle comics, but I do know that like they always like switch it up every once in a while. Like in Rise of the TMNT, he was a man turned man rat. So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like whenever they do that. Like, so if you're gonna go and remake a thing, switch some shit up. Just like
Yeah.
be creative. It doesn't have to be identical. It doesn't have to be the same.
Oh god! Speaking of fucking, did you see the Little Mermaid trailer? Everyone's
I did.
fucking pissed about it for.
I know. I don't know why.
Like everyone's like,
You would think they've never seen a black person.
Yeah, they're like, she needs to be white. I'm like, why? Like,
why?
What is a mermaid's race? Like, really?
Fiction. That's what it is. It's fucking unicorns. That's what mermaid race is.
Do people not know that mermaids, like, they're not like part of race? They are water dwelling beings.
No, that's the thing. They're all their ideas are that they saw Little Mermaid. It was a documentary, and now that they're making it again and they changed some stuff, they're like, well, this is not true to history. It's the same people that are like, women weren't in World War I. You can't put them in Battlefield. It's like, who gives a shit? God.
Like, well, I mean, it's not like she's aiming the gun with her titties. Like, what is it different? Like, it doesn't change anything besides, I guess, give your character a not deep voice.
That's it. To be fair, that's like Cyberpunk tried to do some of that, where it was like decoupling your body parts from your gender, but they ruined it all. And we've talked about this a lot with the fact that they had like gender specific romance options. Like, why? Just stop.
Dude, speaking of Cyberpunk, like before the show started, I was downloading a game because I wanted to stream on my channel before this, but it took like 3 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, it was GTA 5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It has a bunch of shit to download. That aside, I was like, well, I'm gonna see what's on Netflix, and fucking Edge Runners came up, and I thought it was like a Crunchyroll show, but it's Netflix. Mm-hmm. And I started watching it, and I was like, oh shit. It's so fucking good.
I bet it is.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but man, I'm angry. I'm so angry that the show is so good and the story is really good, and then I kept thinking, I'm like, why isn't the game this fucking good? Like, why couldn't we do this in the game?
Yeah, you're saying like locations that are familiar and like gangs that are familiar, and you're like, well, I would fucking do that. Hey.
Yeah, even like while I was watching it, I was like, I wanna download the game again, but then I'm like, no, if I do, I'm not gonna be able to do this.
I'm just gonna drive around in all the cars that fall through the world.
Dude, the show is so good and animated, really good.
Yeah.
Like the story is really good. Like they don't. I'm not gonna say they don't give you time to breathe, but like the first episode is really good. I'll just say that. Like I really like all the characters. I care about like the main character's name is David, and like I really like care what happens to him. And
That's good.
It's not like fucking V and what's his fucking name? The stupid guy that's your best friend.
Jackie.
Yeah, I fucking hate Jackie.
I think you hate Jackie because, okay, for those of you that don't know, Fee played Cyberpunk like right whenever it came out, and I was like watching him play it because like it kind of didn't matter. And then I go off and like I'm playing Cyberpunk. Fee had taken a break for a little bit, and then he comes back to it, and now the game has been out for like 3 weeks at this point. Yeah. Fee has played it for probably 80 hours, and then he goes to go talk to Jackie, and I went, "Wait, did you like load an old save?" And he goes, "No, I haven't done this. It's the first story mission in the whole game." And Fee looked at it and said, "Nope. Gonna go do whatever I want for 80 hours.
Literally after the prologue, they were like, all right, you could do whatever you want, and you're not on a time limit, and just go talk to Jackie. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go see what's around the city. And like, I was doing every single mission, like everything until they locked me into talking to fucking Jackie, and he sat there for weeks eating the same ramen like, until I came to talk to him.
I just love the idea that he's like, at the end of the day, the guy at like the noodle shop is like, all right, brother, you got to get out of here. And Jackie just pulls out a gun and is like, do I? And he's like, all right, well, you stay here and I'll be back tomorrow, I guess. He's and that just happened for a fucking week and a half.
He was like, my choom said he would be here, and he's gonna be here.
He will be here, but he's never left me hanging, ever.
Just out in the rain, just sitting and fucking eating, just any minute now, just looking at his watch, and he's like, yep, ignoring calls, people are worried about him. And then here I come, all fucking jacked up, have good guns, have good tech, and he's like, hey man, let me show you the ropes. I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Oh yeah, show me the rope.
After I've explored like all the city and been outside in the desert and shit.
Just one rainy night, someone comes up to Jackie at the noodle stand and is like, hey, I see you've been here for a while. It looks like you're just eating a bowl of water. And he looks down and just like the rain has filled up his bowl and there's nothing left in it but rainwater. He's still putting chopstick in it, pretending to eat though. And he's like, nope, he'll be here any second now. Ooh.
Longingly looking at his bowl, just like the water's like all over his face in the rain, but you can make out the tears. And he's like, he said he'd come. He said
he'll be here. I promise. He wouldn't lie.
and that's how I played the game.
Yeah, that's why you hate Jackie. It's 'cause you showed up and his like tear-streaked face. He was like, "Let me show you the ropes."
I knew he'd come.
I knew he would. I'm so happy to see you.
Fucking shaking the noodle man like a crazy person. See, he's real. God damn.
See, like that's the one thing that I know Edge Runners is not gonna have is sad Jackie eating his noodles forever.
Fuck. I love Edge Runners so much. It's the animation's good too, but the story is so much better than the stupid story in the game.
Yeah, I'm wondering who that. So like, Trigger is the one who did this anime. They also did Kill la Kill. They did Little Witch Academia. Most of the team did Gurren Lagann. So like, they've got the pedigree behind them. They also did a short inside of Star Wars Visions.
And they did Pro Bear.
Yeah, they did Promare. So like they've really got the pedigree for making good animations. So it does make me, because like most of their stories are like sort of outlandish. Like Gurren Lagann was literally just, hey, what if I solve my problem with a bigger robot? And that's the whole thing. And Kill la Kill is, what if clothes are bad? So like I'm wondering if number one, if the story in Cyberpunk Edge Runners is gonna like hit that pinnacle where like it just takes a turn and you go, oh well, now this is weird. This was like a cool cyberpunk, like we're all in this together. We're like night kids. We're doing this, and then at some point it's just like, oh yeah, actually yo-yos are the ultimate weapon, and you go, what the fuck?
That's fucking that new Usagi Yojimbo show on Netflix. But
oh yeah, that's right.
But no, dude, Cyberpunk Edge Runners is so fucking good. Like, it's not David. Once he got to where he is, he's stuck with there. Shit's going on. I'm on episode 8 right now, and like some new shit's happening. And
nice.
Like now, David's a badass. I mean, I'm trying not to spoil it. I know that the show's like very fresh out. But God, do I want to spoil it? Just God, I just want to
that's
talk
the thing.
about it.
I mean, it's hard to talk about stuff, especially like, number one, you haven't finished it, and number two, it hasn't even been out for 24 hours.
Really? It came out yesterday?
Yeah. Damn. It came out the 13th.
I'm about to finish it like in 2 more episodes.
But that's a fee thing to do though. Like,
yeah.
Do you know how long it takes me to finish shows? Like,
yes,
it weeks,
yes,
weeks.
I know. I'm not mad at you. I know you have a family and a life.
I have a family.
You're not the troll like me, just in my fucking cave, just being like, all right, I'm gonna watch this now. Just fucking no. I'm basically Jackie with no emotion. Just in my room, just like, that was good. Just fucking
show good.
I'm
fine. What new show?
Putting it
show
on my,
bad.
Put it on my check mark of good stuff. But like, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I'm afraid to give it a 10, even though I know it's a 10. Fuck it, it's a 10. It's a 10.
Okay, all right, it's a 10. 8 episodes all the way up until, I swear to you, if like. If I get a message from you in like 3 hours where you're like, okay, it was a 10 all the way up until halfway through episode 10, now it's a 4. I'm gonna be very mad.
I promise you that won't happen. I promise you that it won't happen. It is a 10. Like, the animation's so good. Like, all the colors are good. The music's good. The intro for, and this threw me for a loop. The intro for the show is by Franz Ferdinand.
It sure is.
And when I saw that, I was like, Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah,
like, what a fucking wacky ass choice.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, fucking, I haven't heard Franz Ferdinand in years, like decade. So
I really like whenever anime does that, whenever they decide to like incorporate like a real song. Number one, Franz Ferdinand made this song for Cyberpunk, I believe. So so that's cool. But like, one of my favorite animes that I went back to watch a couple of years ago, and then I decided to stop, was Ergo Proxy.
Ergo Proxy. I haven't seen it.
Ergo Proxy is kind of a cyberpunk kind of thing. There's like a city, and there's like I get kind of like demons, I guess, but they're like variant kind of things. And like the main character is hunting them down, and it's like really dystopian, gray, bleak future vibes, and like big government conspiracy. So like it's very cyberpunk, right? Yeah. But the ending song is Paranoid Android by Radiohead. And so
wow.
I watched to the end of the first episode, and the end of the first episode is like our main hero is like doing some shit, and then like at the end of the episode, this demon is just like up in her face, and you're like, oh no, shit's gonna go crazy, right? And then it like I hit play, like it keeps going, credits show up, silence,
Yeah.
and I was like, hey, what? What happened? What happened to my good music?
Yeah.
And I looked it up because I was streaming it, and they were like, "Oh, we couldn't get the rights to Paranoid Android by Radiohead for the streaming." And I went, "Oh, come on!"
Well, no, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I stopped
Aw.
after episode 1. I said, "I can't do it. I have to listen to Paranoid Android at the end." That's like that's the whole thing.
You couldn't just have like another window open whenever the episode ends, then you just like pull up the song.
Fee, I was watching it on a TV. Do you know how much work it would have been to have a phone next to me and press play every time?
You don't have your phone next to you all the time?
Well, I have it in my pocket because I'm paying attention to the show.
Well, that's why you just lay it next to you, keep the YouTube browser open, and just play the song like, what is it, like 30 seconds? Or like 30 seconds a minute? And then just stop it and then restart it and then restart the next episode?
Fee, you and I both have ADHD. You know what would happen if you lay your phone next to you just face up in the middle of a show that you're watching. As soon as the show gets slow, you're picking up your phone to be like, oh, do I get any notifications? Well, let me check Discord real quick. Let me go check this thing real quick.
Okay, yeah, like for real. That's why when I'm watching a show and it's really good, I put my phone away from me.
Mhm.
Face down too. Like,
Yeah.
I put my phone face down away from me because I know I'm like, if I see my phone, I'm gonna want to pick it up. But like lately, when that happens to me, if I'm watching a show and what's it called? Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. See, this is just this is
I paused
so if
the
you've
show.
listened to the
paused the
Fake
show.
Goth Girls podcast, it has turned into the ADHD podcast. This is ADHD podcast part 2. So
Yeah. I was gonna say I remembered what I was gonna say. Whenever I do like want to read something, I'll pause my show because like if I'm reading something, I'm missing everything that's happening, even though it's like loud on the TV. So
Yeah.
I've learned to pause the show and then read what I'm gonna read. Then I put my phone back away. So.
yeah, that's one nice.
Yeah, but like I mean I know a few words. So I mean every once in a while I like if I do have to look away, I'd be like, I know that word. Just ooh, someone said I'm sorry. Or someone called for their brother. Fucking so like the cool I wouldn't say cool, like I'm not trying to be like weird, but there's a lot of like boobs and wieners in the show and a lot of F bombs. Well, like I forgot, like it was Netflix, and Netflix is like notorious for showing fucking like front muff and like fucking boobers, and wing wangs. So
Yeah, no, that is I don't know if you know this, but like we've had conversations with my wife's parents in which like we're talking about streaming services, and that is a thing that comes up often. It's like, well, you can't get rid of Netflix because they're the only ones that have the wing wangs and the boobers.
I told them that specifically, and they recoiled with their teacups, and they were like, "Oh my word!"
Yeah, they stopped coming over after that. I don't know why. I don't think it's related though.
Yeah, after you were just sitting there like in your degenerate chair, just like,
Yeah.
oh yes, give me the memories. Fall Out Boy, thanks for the memories.
Oh wow. Okay,
That was a deep cut.
we got to write that down. We'll make a shirt out of it.
Mia, write that down.
Oh God! Ow! I got my COVID booster today, and my arm was not sore up until about an hour ago, and now it's like very a lot.
Nobody likes you, Booster.
Yeah, booster, boostio.
Oh wait, you didn't catch that reference. I'm ashamed.
What?
Nobody likes you, Booster.
Oh no!
It's a Jingle All the Way reference.
Oh my God! Damn, that is true. Yeah. Now I'm in there.
In Jingle All the Way, fucking Turbo Man's sidekick is named Booster.
Booster, yeah.
And fucking Sinbad at the parade is Booster's like, hey, you're like messing up the script, and he's like, nobody likes you, Booster. Fucking uppercuts him off the float. All the kids are like, yeah, fuck that guy, and they fucking kick his ass. Fucking hell yeah.
God, what a good movie.
I love that movie. I don't know why people don't. And
Man.
and then they made a sequel, and that movie sucks ass.
Probably. I can't imagine it being good.
It's the main character is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh, of course it is. Oh, wait, no, I knew that actually.
Yeah.
God. Okay, so here okay. So this is yet another instance of me just like not knowing where things come from and getting knowledge from obscure places, and that's how I know things. I know the Jingle All the Way 2 was a thing because at the end of a Neil Cicerega song on YouTube, he showed the cover of it, and I went, what the fuck? Also related, prior to like Paranoid Android being the ending of Ergo Proxy, for like an embarrassingly long time, I didn't know it was a Radiohead song. I thought it was just a song for the anime.
I mean, yeah. Well, I could fault you for that, but I mean, when you hear a song and you're like, "Fuck yeah, that's good," and you don't look into it, you don't really like know it. And usually, animes don't use like American like music.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's very rare that you get like a English song for an anime, but you know,
and that's
it happens.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if I can. I almost like made a goof. I was like, I don't know if I can classify fucking Cyberpunk as an anime, but it is. It's an anime.
Oh yeah, totally.
It is. Like, there's nothing American about it besides that.
Just, except Franz Ferdinand.
and
you heard the Franz Ferdinand and went, "Whoa, is this like Avatar: The Last Airbender?"
I heard Franz Ferdinand, and I was like, "What is this, Cyberpunk?" Fucking, it's like one of my Japanese animes.
It's just like one of my Japanese animes.
I keep that picture in my phone for reaction images,
just to make sure. It's handy.
I have a lot of reaction images. Just I keep them on deck for just in case something happens.
Oh, I know. You've got like I feel like there's a couple of kinds of people out there. One is like I saw a funny image and then I saved it on my phone so I could like post it or send it to people later. And then there's people like me that see things on the internet and go, nice, and then that's it. They have nothing downloaded on their phone, which like, you know,
I mean,
the plus side for you is like you can send that to like whoever you want to. The plus side for me is that I guess I don't have any storage space problems.
I don't have any storage space problems really. Like I don't know. I keep reaction images just for like weird niche occasions. Like someone will say something and I'll be like, I have a picture just for that. And like I have it saved up. I think I have like 30 of them. But like I also have like a 30 gig SD card in my phone. So like I don't really
nice.
I'm not a normal person. I don't like take regular pictures. I delete more of the regular pictures I take than the stuff I just keep downloaded.
Yeah, that's, you know what, that's fair. I as well, if I went through like the images that I have downloaded, it's just pictures that I've taken or pictures that daycare has uploaded of my child, and I'm like, that's cute.
And the cool
that's it.
That is cute. Your son is cute. The other cool thing is like if you post it like other places like Facebook, you don't have to keep it on your phone because you could be like, well, I put that on Facebook, so if I need it again, I'll just go back to Facebook. You know.
Yeah, the thing is, that kind of logic is what sort of drives me to not download things. So I'm like, oh yeah, that was like an interesting article to read. I should send that to my wife whenever whenever you know they've like got some time, and then the time comes and I'm like, oh, that's right, I read an article about it's all gone. Where was it? What was it called? What was the title?
What was it about? Have you ever unironically did my wife like to anybody? about your wife?
My wife has done my wife to me, which is great. I've never unironically done it to anyone. No.
To be fair, I bet your wife could beat you up.
No. My wife is actually extremely weak.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
Well, yeah, that could be it. There is some common knowledge out there, which is like, fellas, if you don't want to go to the grocery store for your girl, make sure to when they ask you to go to the grocery store, just buy a bunch of random shit and forget a bunch of things that they wanted. They'll never ask you again. And that's like the life hack for like, now you got out of that duty. Maybe that's it for my wife. My wife is like, oh, my noodle arms, I can't pick up the trash. Can you take out the trash?
Please, you see, you look at my little noodles. Just turn into a fucking worm, just like.
I'm not here for this wife slander. My wife says. Damn.
Oh, yeah. For people that aren't tuning in live, like 30 minutes in, we're doing this live on Twitch.
We are, yes. This is, if you want to watch this live on Twitch as we're doing it, follow us at twitch.tv/GoGetUsPod, all one word, and hit the follow button, and you'll get a notification, as long as you have notifications on, that we are live, and then come and join it.
Yeah, not Go Get Us Podcast. That's another podcast.
Yeah, it turns out there is, on Twitter, though. Not on Twitch,
no,
but Go Get Us Podcast. On Twitch, too?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Wow. We picked a bad name.
I didn't know. So it's my fault because just one day randomly in October last year, I messaged you and I was like, Colby, my bestest friend, would you partake in a podcast with me? Mm-hmm. And you said yes. And as we're coming up with names and spitballing, I was just like, you know what? Go Get Us. That's something that we both did.
Yeah. Good enough.
No, our anniversary on our podcast is October 13th or something.
I think so. Let me log into Buzzsprout and find out.
Yeah, so like next month is our 1 year anniversary, and I don't know what we're gonna do for it, but I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. We'll have to think of some fun event to do.
I'm telling you, go get us go.
Do a Go Get Us Go of Getting Barbecue, and that's it.
Oh yes.
That would be terrible to listen to.
No, I mean, listen, that's why it's a vlog. We do the Go Get Us vlog, and then like we edit it, and then we post it to the YouTube, and then we talk about it like later that night for the show.
See?
Sick, right?
So yeah, genius. Yeah, it was the 13th.
Damn, I'm good. See, I don't know why
13th of October.
I don't know why that's logged into my memory, but it is. But yeah, no, like we're almost at our 1 year. And also speaking about, I don't think that person's here, but I want to give a special shout out to the guy who listened to our Pinocchio podcast on August the 31st. And downloaded every single one of our episodes in one day.
That is the story. Like, I don't know that that's exactly what happened or the order that it happened in, but I want to believe that it is.
that's my headcanon for how that happened, and for he or she, whoever's out there, I send love your way.
Yeah, thanks for being so into Pinocchio that he said, you know what, I have to support more Pinocchio based podcasts by following and getting all of their podcasts.
I don't think it was.
We now know you're hungry for the Noke. We'll get you more.
Fucking Pinocchio. It wasn't specifically. My headcanon was like he heard half of the episode and was like, oh my fucking god, I haven't laughed this hard in decades. So he or she decided, I need to hear more, like now. So they went to like Spotify and downloaded every episode so that way they can catch up like fucking One Piece, and so they can be in the Wano arc right now.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, there's a subreddit that we didn't make about Goga's, but it's just that person being like, "What do you think they're going to talk about in the next episode?"
I wouldn't be upset that there was like one of our like a subreddit about us that we didn't know, but I'd be like, hey, well, why didn't you contact us?
Yeah, we would have. Hey,
I want us to get like somehow that big, but like I don't know, to get a subreddit about us. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think that's cool. But
I'm all in.
I'm all in as well.
So I'm looking, and here's what I think, because again, you know, it's the Pinocchio content topical, the fucking
the movie came out on
that made everybody My Lonesome Cowboy topical.
Oh my fucking god, yeah.
So I want to talk about the thing that happened, the big thing that happened yesterday. The Nintendo Direct, baby.
Oh god, yes. Oh.
This was a fucking big one.
Oh, hell yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto, enter my body.
He was there. He was on the Direct. It was weird.
I know. And every time he's on a Direct, they have someone else voice him. So like, God, get a consistent voice dub. Fuck.
God, come on. My favorite part was the part at which he said, "Oh, look, I made a new shirt."
Oh, I know, for Pikmin 4. He was like, that's all we can show for Pikmin 4 for now, but I made this cool shirt.
But, oh, look, I made a shirt. The way that they translated it was, "I made a shirt," and that just made me laugh so hard. That's like, oh, Grandpa Miyamoto. He's like, "I whittled a boat." They're like, "We know, Grandpa."
I was here for like a whole 2 days sewing this shirt together. I hope you like it.
I made a shirt.
Come here. Oh God, how do you say grandchildren in Japanese?
I wouldn't know.
Come here, Oni-san. That's like brother.
That's not even a little close.
That's brother. So like I haven't got that far in Duolingo. God.
God, grandchildren is next.
But yeah.
There were a lot of really good announcements at this Direct.
Was there?
Yes.
Were there?
Yes, there were.
Were there?
Yes.
Where there's mint. Okay. So I'm. Yes, there were. I'm being facetious, but
the first one that they announced, which is big to people that are not me, was Fire Emblem Engage.
Oh yeah, Pepsi hair.
Yes, Pepsi Boy, Pepsi Boy wet cardboard.
Oh yeah, kill the kill guy.
Yes, that's not even close. But okay, the main character of this game basically has half red, half blue hair, which would be like you could pull off if the blue wasn't so vibrant, but it's the most vibrant actually.
Yeah.
And his eyes are two different colors too.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So this is like very much someone's Fire Emblem OC that they snuck into this actual game.
Yeah.
Someone made an image which just was so striking of the main character of this game, just a cutout of the main character of the game on top of Apex Legends, and we're like, look, he's a VTuber.
Oh my god.
And it just looks this man is a VTuber. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna think about this game for the rest of my life.
He looks so different from like the normal cast, which kind of look like in that universe, but he is so very different. And it's so like different because in that trailer they show like everything's going on. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. And then Marth comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, wow, he's way different than fucking this person in here. Like, yes, he has blue hair, but God, he looks like he belongs to Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
This Pepsi, this Pepsi boy, like they imported him from something else.
Yeah, this looks almost like they were like, oh, we really need a main character for this game. And then they looked on like the Unity free asset store and were like, well, there it is right there.
There's our man. Just pull him in and change the color.
Pepsi Boy .zip. Love it.
Like, but like, don't get me wrong, the gameplay looked good. Like, he looked like good in action. It's just out of like, he just doesn't look like Fire Emblem.
Yeah. The most striking thing about this is the obvious, like, oh, this is not Fire Emblem. Like, this is something different.
But I mean, but like I said, the combat is fucking there. It looks, I may even pick it up. It looked good.
Yeah, listen, I'm not a Fire Emblem person, as I have literally just said. And why aren't you listening?
What?
But I'm not a Fire Emblem person. I tried it one time and was like, this is actually not a thing I enjoy. But
I like the 3DS one. You know, where you got to be Robin.
Oh yeah. That's commonly referred to as like one of the better ones, like a new sort of fresh take on stuff. And
there's like you can have everyone marry each other, right? And I had like the smallest little girl. She's not a little girl, but like she's a real small. She looks kind of like that tiny little girl aesthetic. And I had her marry like the biggest man. And I don't know why that was funny to me.
So fun fact, one of the cool things about doing the stream of our podcast is that I get to show stuff to people.
And that's why you should tune into the stream.
So for anyone at home, I do just need you to Google like Fire Emblem Engage VTuber and it's all over. For everyone on stream, I want you to enjoy this like very good image of Pepsi Boy just playing some Apex Legends, thanking some subs and donos.
Oh god, it matches too perfect. It's too perfect.
It's like Kobe. He just belongs there.
Kobe, we're muted when we're showing the image because you didn't move the images to the other slide.
Yeah, well, that's fine. At the very least, the podcast will have that audio.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
I'll move those over.
It'll even have that hiccup. But
it's too perfect, right? His hair, it just looks like his hair would bounce around a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, thanks for the sub," and then someone in chat redeems like. You have a small wiener, like clip that happens, and he's like, "Hey, shut up! I'm doing my best out here."
I can see him bouncing around. Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what could you consider us VTubers?
No,
I mean
we're PNG tubers.
Get it right.
That's the technical scientific term for it.
Hey, I mean, okay, so I like our logo and our characters. Thank you. I had them commissioned.
Yes,
but
you did.
I mean, I also did draw the what's it called art.
The concept art. Yeah, Fee drew the images that we use as our avatars on some just like lined fucking notebook paper, and was like, "Well, there's lines. I don't know how to deal with that."
I don't have like the fucking cool digital pad that you could draw on or anything.
You do actually, because I gave you one.
I don't have a cool digital pad that you could draw on. Look, it's in. I actually thought about pulling it out and using it again, but all of my things from when Move are still packed up in boxes. I specifically just kept my computer and like all the stuff for it out because I knew I'd be doing things like this.
Yeah, you said, you know what? I like just bare necessities. The rest of it is in the car.
Yeah, I don't even change clothes every day.
I've only got 2 shirts.
Eventually, oh god, ew. Eventually we can get if we get big enough, we get more followers. We'll get some new PNGs. Maybe some cool stuff, but like right now we're testing the waters and we're gonna be doing this like every week. So, I mean, odds are it'll just get better, and that's why you should follow. Really, who's losing out?
For like, let's go back to Nintendo Direct because there's some interesting stuff that came out here. Not Xenoblade Chronicles 3. No one gives a shit about that.
I do.
It Takes Two is coming to Switch. That's great.
I never played it, but I kept seeing gameplay of it, and it looks really good. But I don't know who I'd play.
It does look really good.
I don't know who I'd play it with.
You gotta put one controller in one hand and one controller in the other hand.
I'll just have one controller in my two hands and one at my feet.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna pull a no game, no life.
I did see I did watch a streamer beat Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy VII at the same time with his hands and with his feet.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's very good.
That's really good. Like, I was gonna say, how do you pay attention? But if you've beaten the games already, why would you?
Yeah, I mean, you know the ins and outs, baby.
I mean, I never pay attention when I play those games. I'm like, just let me get into the game.
Yeah, come on.
But except for Final Fantasy X, I love hearing Titus's monologues. And
yeah,
the music.
his very good laughs.
Have you heard the cringe laugh in Japanese? It sounds the same as American.
I have, yeah. It's exactly as bad. Which, like, that's the intention. It is supposed to be bad, but like, also because I was arguing with a friend about Final Fantasy X, and I was like, oh yeah, the voice acting is not great, and they were like, you can't just say that just because of the laugh thing. That's taken completely out of context. It's how it's supposed to be. And I was like, no. Titus has a whole thing where he's talking about his dad, and he's like, I hate you, old man. Like, it's not good.
It's because the voice actor's like Johnny Test. That's his voice actor. And that's,
yeah, no, it's not the voice actor for Johnny Test. It is Johnny Test, the real one.
It's an AI generated fucking voice. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. I do love Final Fantasy X. The voice acting's fine, except Titus. He's the only bad fucking voice in that game. Everyone else fits.
Yep.
Even racist Waka.
Waka's great, actually. Waka's a great character. His lines are all good. Lulu's not great, and
Lulu doesn't have a lot of lines.
Oh, who's Renoa? Hey, who's Final Fantasy X Renoa? I've forgotten. Yuna also not great.
Okay, listen, I like them.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I like him, but Titus is so whiny. That's the only caveat for me.
Yeah, no, it's not great. I mean, like, a lot of people really, really connect with Final Fantasy VIII as like their preferred favorite Final Fantasy game. Right?
That's a shocker.
It's not a shocker because you are too young to have hit this. I avoided this because I didn't have a PlayStation 1.
You're 2 years older than me. We're not...
Imagine you have a PlayStation 1.
Okay.
And now imagine you're 12, 13, 11, somewhere in that range, like 10 to 14, where you're like interested, like you kind of know what dating is, you're kind of interested in romance, but you don't really know like much about it.
All right, I'm there.
And then you experience Final Fantasy VIII, which is basically a love story about like two like teenagers that fall in love and go to space or whatever, right?
And they knew
that leaves a big fucking impact.
I don't know, man. Like, I played Final Fantasy VIII when I was a kid, and I knew there was a love interest, but like, I didn't care. I wanted to be Zell, and I wanted a gun.
Exactly. That's the thing, Fee. It didn't hit you at the right time.
And if
it had hit you at the right time, it'd be all over. Like, I know at least 3 people that are like, Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite game. It's a love story, and I love it. It's my favorite Final Fantasy.
7's a love story.
7 is not a love story, actually.
Cloud falls in love.
He kind of does, maybe.
He and Tifa have sex in front of the High Wind, in front of Northern Crater. It's implied.
That is, Fee, you're not wrong. Okay, but the thing is...
all the pilots saw them.
Listen, Fee. We can't spoil Final Fantasy VII.
Why?
Because my wife is listening.
Oh, God, yeah. I was going to say, it's been out for like 25 years.
Whoa, Fee sounds robotic now? Well, that is not my problem. The stream knew it was spoilers.
Oh, God.
Luckily, you still sound fine to me, Fee. Not a big deal.
Thank you, Kobe. You sound good to me, too.
Hopefully, it'll fix itself on Mia's end. I'm gonna just blame this on Mia, because whatever.
Yeah. Our fucking technical producer, Mia. I'll blame it on them.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna keep going on the list. Rapid fire.
Okay, hit me.
Fist of the North Star boxing
I
game.
didn't see that.
It exists and doesn't look very good.
Oh, wait, another one. Fucking, what was it? Garfield, like Lasagna Kart 3, right?
What in the?
A
What
Garfield game got announced.
Not in the Nintendo Direct fee.
Right after it though. Like they were like
That doesn't mean
they're
anything,
like, okay,
V.
we gotta go. By the way, Garfield's coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the last thing. They were like, hey, here's this really hype trailer. Oh, yeah, by the way, Garfield.
Okay, go. Rapid fire.
By the way, get your Garfuccinos ready.
Get your Garfuccinos ready this summer. Bye. Fucking.
Let's see. Front mission, no one cares. Tunic on Switch. Big thing. Tunic should have been on Switch this whole time. I'm very happy that it's coming out.
I was very surprised that it wasn't out already. It shouldn't be hard to port.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Okay, so you would think that it wouldn't be hard to port, but again, the Switch is so underpowered that it probably like I don't want to put words in like game developers' mouths, but like I imagine that like there are techniques that you have to do in order to like conserve resources, and with other platforms like PC and PlayStation, you can maybe get by with not being as efficient or doing things like the easy way rather than the like most efficient, best performance way, because it doesn't matter. But then it really matters on Switch. That's where I'm going to put my money.
Well, I'm just going to say this. Tunic is a fantastic game. It deserves to be on the Switch. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a big deal, but also I'm saying that game deserves to be played on the go because it's such a good game. That's all I have.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it.
It's an extremely good game. If you haven't played Tunic, please go play Tunic. Yeah, it's top 10 games.
Top 10. Well, no, not for me.
That's fair. Splatoon 3 exists. No one cares. Octopath Traveler 2.
Octopath Traveler. Oh, dude, it looks so good. I haven't played part 1, but part 2 looks leagues better than part 1.
Yeah, I've been really digging all of these games that are doing this like 2D sprite on a 3D background thing. Yeah. It looks so good. Octopath looks great. Music sounds pretty good too, at the very least from the trailer.
I think I might play Octopath Traveler on my free time because I do really want to play that game. But like now that 2's coming out and it looks there's a lot of characters in 2 that I think look a lot better than 1, I might just wait for 2.
Yeah. Why not? Because I think it's disconnected, right?
Yeah, they're disconnected. They're not so. It's not like a tying storyline. So
yeah.
Also, I don't know if this is next on your list, but it is also a Square game, Various Day Life.
Various Day. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, that also looked pretty good. Like it looked. Whenever you think Square Enix JRPG, that's what it looks like.
It looks like Bravely Default, character design. And as much as I like Bravely Default, I don't like Bravely Default because the music is great, the gameplay is great, but the story is weak as shit. The story is way weak. But
I got through, I think, probably a third of the first one before I stopped. Which had to do with like in Bravely Default, you just like in Final Fantasy, you visit a number of temples that are locations of crystals. I got to the last temple with the last crystal and I went, great, I'm almost done with the game. And then they said, hey, you got to go and visit all those temples again. And I said, no, I don't. I can just turn the game off and never play it again. And that's what I did.
I think I got about halfway through. And before, like, every battle turned into, like, okay, if I just fucking brave everything, I could take out all the enemies in one attack turn. And that's what it turned into. And I just, like, after a while, like, halfway through the game, I was like, this is boring. And then I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. And then I didn't play anything after that until Bravely Default Part 2 on the Switch. And I'm like, okay, they had to have changed something. And I was playing it, and I'm like, this is really good. Everything looks good. Halfway through the game, I was like, No, it's the same thing.
It's the same.
Like, I hate this. God, and I hate the characters. I hate all of them. I just don't like any of them. And I'm sorry, Bravely Default stands out there. I hate the characters. I just hate them.
I mean,
wow.
The heresy.
But Various Day Life, the character design's the same. I am curious. It's like you're building this village, right? And you get people in, and like the various villagers that you pull in can become part of your party, and you're just trying to defend your fucking village, and you could build your party with like different people and have them set to do different things in the village. That sounds sick. I really want to play it.
Yeah.
I hate the name though.
Yeah, that's fair. The other thing that was released, the other thing that showed up 3 times in this Nintendo Direct and many other times afterward were just farm sims.
Hell yeah!
Farm sim, baby. Do you like Stardew Valley? Play it again, but different.
Yeah. Do you like Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley? Well, these aren't them, but you want to play them.
Yeah, don't worry. We have an embarrassment of them.
It was so fun. Like, it must have been funny to watch it live because they were like, "Oh, get your shovels out. This is a farming sim." And the first one, you're just like, "Okay, that's fine." Hey cool. Guys, did you ever want to farm in a Fantasyland? But you just told us about that. And then they fucking play it, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, Harvestella's coming out," and you're like, "Why did you put these 3 things back to back?"
Yeah, I don't understand. So they talked about Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, which had already come out, but it came out for a GameCube. It's coming back to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Then they talked about
which great. Okay, old remake. That's fine.
They talked about like Atelier something.
Yeah, that's coming.
Go.
That's Rune Factory 3, Rune Factory Special 3. Yeah. Which yeah, you're right on the nose there.
I've always been curious about Rune Factory because that looks like a game that I could really get into because it has a lot of dungeon crawling as well as like farm sim.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Because like Rune Factory is one of those management games. It's which to be fair, so is like Harvest Moon. But like this feels like it's a little more commerce based, which is kind of I don't know, kind of different. It's different enough that you can justify having a second game.
There's numerous Rune Factory games, and I always watch the trailers and I'm like, man, I should buy that and play it. But then I'm just like, it's still just a little bit too much, and then I end up not. Whoa, dude! Yeah.
I'm also looking at Fae Farm. Fae Farm is the other game that came out.
That's the one I shared.
So Fae Farm is imagine if you wanted to play
Rune my Factory God. Light.
ADHD is killing me. Imagine if you wanted to play Stardew Valley with your friends and have it be a little cuter.
I was going to say it's like Rune Factory Light because they look like they put emphasis more on the combat and like fishing and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they didn't show a lot of like the farming, but it is there.
It's in the title.
Shut up!
Hey, you gotta farm. We know.
Yeah, you gotta farm, but you don't gotta think about it.
Is that they're not putting it in your face?
It's not like it's in the title or anything. But
yeah, Harvestella is the other one. Just four farms.
God, that's 4 farms I gotta keep up with. I don't even want to.
God, I've got too many farms.
I don't even want to keep up with one. But as far as Harvestella goes, that game looks cool, but I can see myself not playing it.
Yeah, Harvestella is. I would, to me, it's the one that's differentiated itself enough because it is still a farm sim game, but it looks enough like Genshin or like another like Final Fantasy type game that I'm like, okay, well, this is, you're not doing the cutesy thing. You're doing like something a little more realistic, and the story is like depressing. It's like, hey, make a farm because the world is ending. It's not like make a farm so you could eat turnips that are good.
Make a farm because your parents died.
Which is, I mean, honestly, you know,
that's
kind of the dream.
That's always the fucking story. They're like, oh, your granddad died and he left you this farm. You better move out to the country and fall in love with the farmer and make sweet love in the hay.
That's all included in the letter. It says you can take possession of this farm and make a lot of money. You do need to be married and roll around in the hay, though. You have to. I will have people audit the hay.
I have hay inspectors, and they're gonna inspect it for all your juices. Just the cow. We're gonna question the cows too. They gotta watch.
There's got to be witnesses.
I would imagine, like, if you owned a farm and like you were married and you had a significant other, you'd take a chance and go into the fucking ranch house in front of the animals and you know.
No, I don't, Fee.
You know, just
I don't think anyone would do that.
Sweet love.
Yeah, it's fine. Listen, we're all adults here.
Everyone's an adult here. Everyone knows what I mean.
I feel like you don't know what a barn smells like.
I do know what a barn. You know where I live, and you know there's barns.
I know that there. Do you go there, Fee?
When I was a child, one of my friends was Thomas Putnam, and you know where he lived?
In the country.
On a farm.
He does live on a farm. That is true.
I've been there. He had goats in his house. And his family. Okay, this is funny.
His family, all goats.
All his family, horses. Just they made hot dogs for me and my cousin. We used to go play Halo over there all the time.
Nice.
And his family, when we go over there, would make hot dogs. And this one time, they made hot dogs for us, and they gave us green Shrek ketchup.
Nice.
It was so good. I don't know why that memory sticks with me so much, but it does.
But you're like, green ketchup.
Oh, it tastes like the swamp.
Get out of my swamp, more like get into my hot dog.
Get out of my swamp and into my buns.
Theater Rhythm is coming out with a new thing.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love Final Fantasy music theater games.
Yeah, it's 385 songs, which when you hear that, you're like, wow, amazing. That's like every song. And then while they were also like, oh, hey, there's also going to be some like DLC for Nier and Octopath and Live Alive. And I'm like, okay, I don't really care about those. That's fine. And then they're like, yeah, and then there's going to be a season pass where you can get all of those and like a bonus 17 songs, including Memories of Life. And that's whenever I slammed my hand down on the desk and said, fuck you, Square Enix. Taking away Memories of Life. That's the single most important song from Final Fantasy IX, and you're paywalling it for me? How dare you?
Yeah, I could play it for free on my 3DS right now.
The song... I downloaded the song on Kazaa one time. Like somebody recorded the audio from their, and it's so bad because they recorded the audio from their TV, and then they went like you could tell that this is what happened too because they recorded it while they were playing, and it starts off with like a waterfall sound, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Why is there a waterfall sound?
They recorded
and then. They recorded, like, there's that place, whenever you go to the new continent, you're in Aiko's place, right? And then Dagger's singing the song.
Yeah.
You get to walk around the map in that part, and at some point, there's, like, a waterfall where you can, like, hear the song. And this person was recording and was like, yeah, I just want to record this. And then went, oh, shit, the waterfall. And then you could hear, like, Zidane's little footsteps. and then a screen transition and the song started back up, but they left that whole beginning part in, and I still would listen to that song and be like, what a good fucking song.
I beg to differ. My favorite rendition of that song is from when they're in Dali, I think, where Vivi gets captured, and Zidane looks into his hotel room, and Daggers is like taking a shower. That's when you first hear it, and it's really good. It's
just what I don't remember that.
Like there's a part when you're just like doing busy work in Dali, and then you can go up to the hotel, and they have like a little window that you could peer into, and like you're like, oh, I don't see anything, but then you like hear a shower, and then you just hear la 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 la.
What a good song!
It's such a good song. And oh no, when they're in Regent Sid's castle, and then you like come up on her to the telescope. That is such
it's a great scene.
It's such a good scene. I don't care if I'm spoiling it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's a good scene, and I don't. God, you're vaguely tickling my brain to be like, oh yeah, he looks inside of a window, but like. What a weird thing to include in a game, to be like, yeah, our protagonist is going to look in the window and like stare at one of his like party members in the shower. That's like an original Dragon Ball thing to do. Dude, and that's fucked up.
To be fair, Final Fantasy IX Zidane is kind of a horn dog. Like halfway through the game, like more than half.
Is he?
Yes. He's constantly like, oh, Dagger, you want to get with me. I'm fucking cool. And like, he's like, I'll protect you, princess. And then there's that one time in that same town when they're escaping. They're like, oh, hey, climb up the ladder. And he's like, fucking climbing. And Dagger's like, hold on, something's wrong. And then like he puts his face in her butt and he's like, oh, soft. And she's like, oh, my word.
Oh.
Like he's always just accidentally inappropriate with her and trying to act macho in front of her. And then, like, gaslights her into
that's different than being like, hey, hey, baby,
wanna come in?
Hey, let me take a peek in that shower.
You know what they say about guys with tails?
No, they don't say anything because I'm the only one.
Well, not really, but taking deep cut.
Yeah, so Theater Rhythm is out.
Oh, so good.
Or will be out at some point.
I just don't. Okay. So I'm sorry for stopping again. I don't know how we're supposed to play it. Are we supposed to tap the screen? Because they show single player tapping multiple things and holding stuff, and I'm not sure if we're supposed to touch the screen. I don't want to put my grubby fucking hands on the screen.
I don't think so. I think it's just gonna do controller.
I hope so. That's how I played.
I guess we'll find out.
That's how I played the 3DS one.
Just with your grubby hands?
No, with the controller.
Oh, okay. Dingus. Sorry, I didn't know. I'm just saying.
Oh, you wouldn't know, would you?
No, I wouldn't, because I never played it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Which is weird. Like, you would think that I love Final Fantasy music. You would think that's the perfect thing for me.
Right? Did you know there was a Theater Rhythm arcade game?
What?
Yeah, dude, look it up.
That's sick.
It's sick.
I would, but then all the audio would go away.
Well, I'll look it up. I'll look it up and I'll share it with you. But keep going.
Great. Let's see. New games coming out to Nintendo 64. Mario Parties, that's great.
Ew.
And GoldenEye 007 was their big wow. But Pokemon Stadium is the sleeper hit here. Pokemon Stadium 2, those are that's the sleeper hits of this.
Oh yeah, the getting announced for the Nintendo 64 what's it called? Live service, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also they fucking hit it, but at the very end they were like, oh, we got all these cool games. I was stoked for Pokemon, but then they were like, and we got GoldenEye with online service, and I was like, oh, that's fucking sick.
I mean, whether or not it's sick is dependent entirely on whether or not they fix the controls. Because you cannot play GoldenEye in 2022 with the original controls. It sucks. We
talked about this last episode, I think, right?
Probably.
About GoldenEye. Like, people fucking waxing poetically about GoldenEye and are like, oh, it's so fucking good. And then you're just like, have you played it recently? It feels like you're playing the game with just a warm dog shit as a controller. I shared the picture with you.
I'm gonna tell my dad, Miyamoto, you said that.
You tell him. Fee said that fucking playing GoldenEye on an original 64 controller feels like a hunk of fucking dog shit.
Damn. I'm looking at this Theater Rhythm arcade game, and it does look really fun.
It looks sick, right?
Very colorful, still the chibi cutesy graphics, but yeah, rhythm game. Good.
Yeah, I'd play this in an arcade. Eventually, when we go to Japan, we're gonna have to find it.
Okay, you're on.
Okay. The reason I'm sorry, we're still holding up on Nintendo announcement, but did you know that Japan's fucking yen is like at an all-time low? So if we go in with big time American money, we'll be like just fucking
big time American money.
We'll be on Easy Street.
Yeah, we'll be on Easy Street for about 3 months until the economy recovers.
Well, I mean, I didn't say we'd stay there for 3 months, just at least a couple of weeks to a month, just enjoying the...
A couple of weeks to a month, just like tell our jobs, I'm just going to do my work remote from Japan. Hey, and they're like, okay.
You could do that easily.
I could, yeah.
For me, I would have to... Okay, so like say if we went for 2 weeks, just even 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I've already planned this out, you fool.
Okay.
I get 1 week off every month, as you know. Mm-hmm. So we go at the beginning of one of my weeks off, and then I say, hey, by the way, I'm taking another week off just for me. That would mean I would probably miss 5 days of work. And that would be fine for me. And the reason I'm saying this, let's say that this podcast gets off the ground so I have a little money to lean back on, that I won't even miss those 5 days. I'd be fine with 2 weeks in Japan, and I won't even skip a beat because I've already been off for a week that I get off naturally.
See, what I thought you were going to say, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to put up a camera in my security guard booth, and then I'll just live stream the camera and just hand people documents that way. I'll say like, hey, there's a stack of documents over here, take one. You're good.
The problem with that is I work in the back now. I work near the docks. I don't have to interact with people. I only have to find out the times that ships dock in our dockyard, and my supervisor will come and patrol and see how I'm doing. So that's the only issue is I can't do that.
Man, Fee, we got to innovate. We gotta start automating that job.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, what I do is really easy, but like I still make dog shit pay. All right, I guess I make decent pay, but
yeah,
there's no way to innovate it because cameras aren't like allowed to be like cast inside of the facility because it's a federal facility.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a TWIC facility, and for anyone that doesn't know TWIC, it's a Texas-based thing where you have to go buy a license to work by any for any refineries or anything that's near the water, and
because the water is very dangerous.
Because it's open to national water, so
it's Texas water, and Texas water has guns,
and we got to make sure that the guns don't get out. So that's why they're paying me the big bucks.
That's right.
But yeah, that's the one problem. But I'm just like I said, I'm down to miss a week of work, and be fine. I don't even care. If that month is the month where nothing's going on, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna miss a week of work, and they're like, why? I'm going to fucking Japan. Mind your business.
Yeah, I'm sure you would say that. I'm sure you would be like, hey, ass. Hey, ass. That's your new name is ass.
My supervisor. Hey, butt face. Hey,
I'm going to Japan and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Come claw me off the plane, dummy.
Yeah, come fucking try to stop me and see if you won't catch these hands. Like I'm telling, like if I took the week off, like let's say I was like I need this week off, and they're like fine, and then like the week of it coming off, like during the week they call me and we're in Japan. They're like, hey, we actually need you to come in. I'm like, I'm like, no, I can't come in and I won't. They're like, well, you're gonna get a write up. I'm like, how? I'm in Japan. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it, big man?
Yeah.
And,
yeah, big man.
like, there's nothing. I have enough good faith work that I've put into my job that they won't do that.
They won't.
They won't.
Call my bluff. I dare you.
Fucking do it. You won't.
Take my job. You won't.
God, my mom shit talks. She literally tells them that all the fucking time. She will tell that straight to their face, to the office people, and be like, are you gonna fire me? Who are you gonna put in my place? And they're just like, we could. And then my mom's like, yeah, right, hangs up on them. My mom fucking...
yeah, okay.
Dude, my mom fucking, like, she cusses them out like they're fucking her kids.
Like, that says many things.
Dude, she gets so pissed off at them. Like, every time she does, she'll call me and be like, hey, I think I'm fired. And then she'll tell me, like, everything she said. I'm like, Mom! And then, like, she ends up not being fired, so...
Man.
So funny. Continue.
I'm looking at the rest of the rest of the stuff is mainly updates. There's Raincoat looks interesting. It's Danganronpa, but more
Danganronpa. Danganronpa.
And yeah, the last announcement.
Yeah,
the big debate.
Yeah.
Are they going to talk about Breath of the Wild 2?
Ooh.
Or are they going to talk about Metroid Prime 4?
How big is Link's wiener? I want to know. Tell me.
That was the third option, actually. Was not talk about either, but just talk about Link's wiener. It's true.
That's what we've all been yammering for.
Yeah, there's forums. There's been a lot of violence over the topic.
Well, I mean, on some of the Reddit forums I go on,
mm-hmm.
We already know how big it is.
Listen, we already know.
We already know.
So I'm looking at the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 starts up. Like it starts, and I don't want to get too excited about it, right? It starts up, and it's just like a figure on a wall, kind of looks like a moth person or like a bird person, maybe. So I'm like, this looks like the first trailer of Breath of the Wild 2. This looks like those runes on the walls, and then it zooms out, and then it comes back. And sure enough, it looks like the tapestry. So you've got moblins, you've got bokoblins, you've got calamity, you've got all this, and then it goes back to moth person with 7 MacGuffins around them.
Of course.
And then there's a picture of a princess dead, I guess. I don't know, like lifted up into the sky. And then some other tapestry things, and then Link pushes open a big fucking door and is like, hey, I'm here! And then he jumps off an island. It's great!
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, is this Breath of the... So I didn't see it live, so I only saw trailers, and it didn't say Breath of the Wild 2. It was like Legend of Zelda something else, and I was like, they putting out another Legend of Zelda game? And then I looked at the trailer, I was like, nope! It's Breath of the Wild 2, baby!
Yeah.
What's it called? 2
big things in here. It's Tears of the Kingdom, which this is the funniest thing to me. So the Nintendo Direct was they didn't stream it to the UK out of respect for the Queen's funeral.
I was gonna say why. Oh,
here is why. Because the title of the game is Tears of the Kingdom. Fee.
It makes sense. Fucking Legend of Zelda people in UK, if they would have shown it, they're like, oh, new Legend of Zelda, what? And then they see the title, they're like, Tears of the Kingdom, oh, blimey.
That's us right now.
Oh, blimey. Fucking.
The thing is, like, you got to imagine that, like, you're in like the Nintendo marketing department. This video has like gone through approval after approval after approval. It's ready to go, right? And then the queen dies, and you go, "Oh shit! Oh god, what do we do?"
Yeah, the fucking guy's like, oh fuck, just
like we can't delay showing this another month. We just have to go for it, I guess. And then someone's like, "What if we just didn't stream it in the UK?" And they're like, "Oh,
I never thought about it that way. Well, why not stream it? They still gotta see the title."
Yeah, well, they'll see it on the internet later, and it's better.
UK is notorious for changing titles anyway. Why did they just change it for UK?
I mean, everybody, because that would be a permanent change. The Queen just died. Like,
they didn't.
When this game comes out next year, which by the way, it's coming out next May, was what they say, which means probably June or July. Whenever this comes out, no one's going to give a shit that the Queen died.
Well, the game's not called Legend of Zelda. The Queen had a stroke.
Well, it's Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. At the very least, like, you can have a little decorum around the fact that, like, you know, this, like, large cultural icon has passed.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
I know you don't. That's why you don't do this job.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying my hardest.
The other interesting thing about the Tears of the Kingdom trailer is that Link lands on, and I'm not joking, something that looks like the hoverboard from Kirby's Air Ride. That's the only thing that I can think that this thing looks like, and it is crazy that is a thing in this game, and I wonder what it is and why it's there.
Doesn't he get a ride from a bird person or have like a hang glider?
That is a hang glider, except that he's standing on it.
Oh, that's sick.
He does have a parasail, like, you know, we have like the parasail, like they've shown off him having a parasail in the game.
News. I want a fucking hang glider. I want a hoverboard.
Yeah, this looks like we upgrading, boys.
Yeah, we're upgrading, even though it's a prequel.
Mm-hmm. So. No, this is a sequel.
I thought it was a prequel. No,
why would it be
Breath
a prequel?
Breath of the Wild is canonically the first Link in the series.
That's also not true. Where are you getting all of this wrong information?
Reddit.
Why are you just so wrong about things?
I'm never wrong. I'm just slightly off.
There's no defined place for Breath of the Wild in the timeline because this Hyrule contains hints and pieces of Hyrule of like so many other Zeldas that there's no way to place it on the timeline, because there's stuff that you can see that looks like it's from Twilight Princess. There's stuff that you can see that looks like other games from like different timelines. There is like there's 3 Zelda timelines. That's right? Just the Easter egg. None of them fit for Breath of the Wild, but that can't mean that it's first. It can't be first.
It can.
It can't. It can't, Fee. The Master Sword exists. The first game is Skyward Sword because the Master Sword doesn't exist. And then it exists after that game.
Can we have a Legend of Zelda where Link uses a gun?
Only if you're nice.
The Master Gun.
The Master Pistola.
I'm tired of fantasy Link. I want cyberpunk, steampunk, even future Link, where he's fucking. I
want grim, sad, depressed Link.
I don't want him sad. I just want him to be this cocky hacker that needs to save Zelda, and her online name is Prince, like XX Princess Zelda, and then fucking the head of Hyrule Corporation is Ganon.
Okay, Sophie, let me ask you a question that I know you haven't thought about in the least.
You bet.
What would that game have anything to do with Zelda? Why would that have to be a Zelda game?
Because princesses still exist in this timeline. I don't know. Like,
that doesn't mean anything,
so
V.
There doesn't need to be a princess. There doesn't need to be. But the Triforce does exist, and maybe Corporate Ganon
Corporate Ganon downloaded it.
Maybe Corporate Ganon figures that the Triforce exists, and if he can get it together, he knows he's from an ancient line of not the Sheikah, the
hackers. The Gerudo.
Of the Gerudo hackers.
Of the Gerudo hackers.
And if he gets all the Triforce together, he can basically monopolize fucking his company with every other company, and Hacker Link needs to stop him.
I'm into this. I'm into this idea. It doesn't need to be a Zelda game. It could be any game. Yeah. Like you could just. This is like, you know how
it needs to be
like you know how 50 Shades of Grey started off as a Twilight fanfic. Yes.
Sadly,
this is that.
But
you make a Zelda fanfic, and then you're like, oh, if I just change 8 words in this script, it's suddenly not a Zelda game anymore. Wow. Okay.
Would be better as a Zelda game.
Why?
Because.
Okay. You know what? Point taken.
It just would.
Because.
Did you hear all that fucking vigor behind that? It just because.
Yeah, it hit me in the chest. Really hurt.
The fantasy setting is already dead for Legend of Zelda. They've done it like a million times. We need a future setting.
And Link can't have like a sword.
He can have a hacker sword.
What the fuck does that mean? You just put 2 words together.
You say that, but like you could put 2 words together for anything, and it means anything.
He can have a car shield.
Why not? Fucking.
He can have a foot window.
Why not? He's a hacker.
Why not? He can put windows in anything.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. He hacks windows.
Look, I'm not saying he could like steal cars and stuff. I'm just saying like he can like hack bombs to blow up the little fucking the corporate mogoblins.
The corporate
the not the goblins, the moboblins.
Moblins? Bokoblins?
Yeah, those 2 things.
Okay.
and
the corporate, and when you put the word corporate in front, that is like saying fantasy Costco, though. That is like, you just were like, oh, well, it's corporate magic.
See, the
corpo moblins, yes.
See, that's already changing stuff. Now, I mean, Link already has a fucking motorcycle in Breath of the Wild. Why not?
I mean, honestly, when the motorcycle showed up, I was like, we're jumping the shark here. All right.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not? Honestly, game's been out. Who cares?
It doesn't even have to be like in the cyberpunk future and like in the vaporwave future. Like, just have it be present day. Link can be like not even a hack. Like, he's not an expert hacker. He's just a regular hacker, and he's going around Hyrule City like tagging things with his spray painting skills.
I like that he's a hacker. He's a spray painter. He knows how to shoot a gun.
Who doesn't know how to shoot a gun? You just point and shoot.
You can get good at shooting a gun.
How do we know LinkedIn?
You can also be very bad at shooting a gun.
That's true.
Point
taken.
I can go ahead and give you a number of examples that are all cops.
As much as I want to hear it, I'm from Texas. I was born with this knowledge.
Listen, yeah, I came up from the dirt knowing what a gun was and how to use it.
When I was born, the doctor slapped my ass and handed me a safe gun pamphlet.
It's true. Happens at every hospital here.
Exactly. So I don't need don't cite the dark magic to me, which I was there when it was written.
So the other thing that happened was PlayStation State of Play. Which almost to me feels like, there's a Nintendo Direct. Well, there's a State of Play too. We've got cool stuff.
Always does that shit. They're like, oh, you're gonna have an announcement? Guess what? Bam, we got one.
We have, for a while there, companies were like arguing and trying to fight with each other to become the first company to present at E3. Yeah. And then the year that I went, E3 2015, Microsoft like pulled an unprecedented move and was like, hey, we know that like E3 technically starts on Monday or fucking Tuesday or whatever. We're going to go Sunday night. And they just had a pre-E3 presentation. And I was like, what?
Yeah. Was that the one where they were just like, the Xbox is all TV, baby?
I think it was. I think this was before they said like, all your games are going to be digital and you can't borrow anyone's games. Otherwise, it's a massive pain in the ass. And then they tracked that back really
Yeah.
quick. I think it was before that. I think it was the one before
Yeah,
that.
right after PlayStation's like, you want to know how we trade games? And they fucking hand each other the games.
Just absolutely obliterate them in front of everyone.
The fucking
Amazing.
mad lads.
Um, yeah. So PlayStation State of Play, uh, Tekken 8,
Yeah. Oh,
Tekken
Tekken
8.
8. Oh god, it looks so fucking good. And well, okay. So here's my thing. I love Tekken 8.
Mm-hmm.
But damn it if Tekken 8 trailer didn't look just like Tekken 7 the trailer, except it looked a lot more crisp and clean and the fighting looked a little bit better. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not like Street Fighter 6. Now that game looked wildly different. That game,
Yeah, that looked like they were trying to do something
yeah,
different with it.
now, and they added a story mode where you can create your own character and like fucking wander around in the streets and be a real Street Fighter.
Yeah, you could be like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of Ryu, and then Ryu's like, this isn't canon.
Oh,
It
the
doesn't count.
bad thing, not the bad, I wouldn't say a bad thing, but so they've only announced 6 people. You know, Ryu, Chun-Li, Luke, which was a guy, the last DLC character for Street Fighter 5, but when they released him, they said, hey, this is going to be one of the main guys for Street Fighter 6, so we already knew he was going to be in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the other guy's name. I think his name was like Joaquin or something, and he's like
Mm.
a drunken fighter character. And then you
Yeah.
have this, this is really cool, big for Street Fighter, because there's not a lot of POC in Street Fighter. And this girl
Yeah.
and
True.
and this girl looks fucking sick, and I forget her name. It's like Jill or something, and she is a kind of like a young African American woman who's also a ninja. I think she may be like Afro Chinese, or
Okay.
because she's basically Guy's student. If you don't know Guy, he's a ninja.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she uses a lot of his fighting styles, but she uses like spray paint and stuff. And she's like a, you know, like a, what are they called? Like a tagger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Graffiti artist, I
graffiti
guess.
artist. And she has like a lot of the ninja moves, and she does a lot of the. Man, I am so psyched to play her. Now, that's not the bad thing. The bad thing is, like, after everything was announced, someone, I don't know who did it, but got the leaked concept art and whole character list for the main characters for Street Fighter 6, not the DLC.
Oh.
So
Ooh,
the whole
okay.
cast list was leaked, and how they're gonna look. So like Street Fighter, like Capcom was like, oh fuck, dude, like they were real pissed off about it, and they were like
Yeah, I would
they
be
were
too.
like taking down videos about anyone talking about it. But you know, I saw the whole list, and boy, it looks so fucking good.
That's really cool. I'm glad that Street Fighter is like continuing to innovate, because there was a period there where like there weren't any new good Street Fighter games. They were just putting out Street Fighter 2 again and again and again and again. And then now they're like back on the grind of like Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, like
Well,
really trying to like innovate some stuff in the city or in the
yeah.
game.
Well, I don't know how like deep in like the fighting game stuff like that you are, but I am. I'm not trying to flex, but I like.
Oh, I'm not.
I'm like
So you're good.
Fighting games are like my bread and butter. So the reason why like they weren't really innovating was the director of the Street Fighter series, and I forget his name. I think his name was like, it started with an O. And for the longest time, he wasn't like listening to people. He was just like, nope, we're gonna, these are the characters we want, and we'll listen to some of the people, but like it always comes down to my decision. And then I think he was let go, or he moved or something, and they got these two younger directors, and they were listening to everyone. They're like, yeah, this is what y'all want? And then like everyone's like, oh fuck, you're doing things that we've been wanting. And like the two new directors of Street Fighter, and which is what I think like a lot of companies need, are younger people who are more in touch with like the internet and like what people want, and like they're like listening to what people want, and like more mechanics and stuff. So now that was going on, they have Street Fighter Five was like way better at the end of its life, and now that Street Fighter Six is coming out, everyone is like, "Wow, this game feels good. The characters look good. You're adding stuff that we've been wanting for a long time." And like that's where like Street Fighter's headed, because Capcom is notorious for having bad decisions.
Yeah, Capcom has made a number of slip ups in the past 10 years or so. Like, they haven't done, they have so many franchises. Like, Nintendo basically has 8 franchises that they lean on extremely heavily to sell consoles,
Yeah.
right? Um, and Capcom has a lot of those really good franchises too, and they just keep fucking it up. Like Marvel versus Capcom hasn't had a new good game in a while. Where's the new Mega Man game? That's good.
The
It's Ace Attorney. Like they finally put out Great Ace Attorney here in America, but like the other games that came out were all like absolutely terrible. So like
Marvel vs. Capcom, that's tied in like a real legal loophole, because they want to use Marvel characters, but right now Disney owns the rights to some of them, and a lot of the fan favorites are owned by like Sony and Universal, so they can't just like willy nilly pick Marvel characters like obscure, because they're like, well, who owns them? Are we gonna have to split the rights and stuff? So like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was a shit show because they only used like MCU people and like a little bit of the people that they could use. So it was really a shit show, but the game played well. But another thing is like, this is the thing you don't know about Capcom, and they always do this, is like they will drop a game and they'll see how it does. And if it doesn't meet their expectations, they just won't go through and make anything else. They're like, oh, well, we dropped all these classics and no one bought it. They must not want a new one. And they don't tell people they do that, but that's people that are in the know, and like people that I watch on YouTube, they're like, yeah, if you don't buy these games, like these classics that they put out in like collections, that tells the people at Capcom that they don't want anything new. They don't want a new franchise from that IP. They just don't even care. And even though people are like, no, we want a new version of these games, and like we don't care. We love the old ones and we'll buy them, but not enough people buy them for them to see that they want a new one, even though everyone's like begging for like a new Darkstalkers.
Yeah, they're in a weird sort of like limbo where they don't have enough conviction to just try something sort of like new or different or go a different direction, and they don't have the confidence that that's going to work out for them. So like in particular, one of the biggest things for Breath of the Wild, one of the reasons why it's so successful is that they changed the formula up. And they listened to like younger map and game designers that were like, hey, what if it was open world? What if you could jump? Why can't you jump? What if we could climb stuff? That would be cool. And that's one of the reasons why Breath of the Wild like feels so free and open and like good. And it feels like Capcom is at a place where they're like, hey, we remixed this old thing and put it out, and not enough people bought it. We only made $100,000, and that's not enough to pay for even one engineer. So I guess we're not doing it anymore. And it's like, are you gonna take a chance? No. Are you gonna like listen to what people want? Are you gonna like try some new shit?
That's why like Capcom, they always put out these collections. Like they put out the fighting game collection, the beat 'em up collection. Those weren't just because people like wanted to play the old ones. That may be a part, but they're like, let's put it out there. If they really want it, they'll buy it, which will give us like fucking gas to make a new one. And then like it doesn't do it, and then just like, oh, I guess they didn't want it, and like everyone's like, oh, but we did. And then like now after they've already made their decision, they go and buy it, and they're like, oh, guess not. It's too late.
No, too late.
Fucking, I hate that when Capcom does that. But like you already know, like if you ever see like hear an announcement, they're like, oh, we're dropping a collection of like this franchise. That means that they're on the edge about making a new game of that particular game, but they're testing the waters
Mhm.
to see if you want it. They're just like hanging out a fucking hook.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I remember back in the day, there was a big leak that was like, hey, Mega Man Legends 3, gonna be a real thing. And then it really seemed like it was a purposeful leak, and a bunch of people were like, oh, nice, Mega Man 3, like, that's gonna be great. But that response wasn't big enough. And so Capcom was like, cancel it, just fucking cancel it. Don't tell anyone, just cancel it, just cancel it.
Let me actually you.
Oh, okay.
So do you know the creator of Mega Man? Fucking, I forget his name, right?
Yeah, Jonald Hambone.
Exactly, Jonald Hambone. He,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, he was like the head of it and everything. Like they were announcing like Mega Man Legends 3, like Mega Man World, where you get to. They dropped that weird trailer with that weird looking Mega Man, and then you can combine bits and pieces from like every Mega Man from everything, right? And they were dropping all this stuff. Well, he was like in a bad place in the company. He was like, I own Mega Man, I'm the father of Mega Man and stuff, and Capcom's like, well, not really. He's RIP, and you weren't the only one that made him. And he was like, oh yeah? You couldn't do anything without me. And then he left the company. And then they just like, well, guess we're not going to make the game to spite you. And then he went out and kickstarted fucking Mighty Number 9, and that game did really good, and he did really dog shit. The game ended up being really dog shit, and they were like, oh, I guess people didn't want that. And then that's why we didn't get another Mega Man until like Mega Man, what was it, like 12 or 10 or whatever, the new one that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what Capcom did. It had everything to do with that one guy.
Man, that's rough.
And then that's why we didn't get the spiritual successor to Mega Man Legends, because Mighty Number 9 did so terrible, and the whole fucking what's it called, production of Mighty Number 9 fucked up that, I think it was called like Red something, and
Red Devil, I don't know.
And
I made that
they
up.
put out like a demo on 3DS, and then it never got made because fucking the guy who made that is such a bad fucking he doesn't know how to handle his resources.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder, like, because back in the day, this is gonna sound so glib, but it really does feel like back in the day, you could make a video game about anything and then it would probably be successful. And then you'd be like, I'm a fucking genius. Almost like whenever, they were making comic books and then someone made Superman. What if a guy lifted up a car and everyone was like, whoa, what the fuck? That's crazy. Amazing. What an innovative thing you did.
Comic books before that were just like detectives. They were like, there's this hard-boiled dick looking for crime and shit. And they would like put out horror comics or just like run-of-the-mill stuff, like stuff that you would see a normal day. But then seeing a guy that could just fucking lift a car or punch a train was like, what the fuck? What is this?
They're like, damn.
Yeah, they were like, what is this? Like,
they're like, I am rock hard for this man.
Dude, everyone. Like, that's why, like, a lot of, like, in the 50s, like, people were just, like, adults were reading comics. They're like, wow, this is some good stuff here, huh? They're fucking...
this is amazing, isn't it?
So, like, that's why, like, that kind of set off. But, like, in video games, like, yeah, you could make just anything, and it would probably be a hit because, like, no one was in the know. They would just see the cover art and be like, that looks fun. But, like, not for Japan, because, like, Square Enix was, at a time, was just like, well, we're not, like, our RPGs aren't doing great. That's why they made Final Fantasy. That was going to be the last game that they were going to make.
Yeah.
But then that game was, like, a fucking hit.
But, like... I guess what I'm saying is, like, some people take their successes in, like, an industry that's early and budding. They, like, had two good ideas, and then 30 years later, they're like, You think you're gonna do a new thing without me? You remember those 2 good ideas I had that one time?
Yeah.
You'll never get anywhere
In a
without
fucking
me.
dark room, lit cigarette. You think you could do better than me? Why don't you go out there and try?
He's been sitting in the dark for 3
Him and
days.
Jackie. Just
Yeah, he's just Jackie. It's just that's who made Mega Man. Jackie made Mega Man. And then people come to him and are like, what if we did another Battle Network? And he goes, you think you're gonna make another Mega Man out from under me, huh?
Here you go. I've been sitting on this Mega Man script for years. And fucking just pulls out like this fucking crumpled up paper. Go and make it.
Yeah, this is a brand new Mega Man concept. This is Mega Man kart racing. No one's ever seen anything like it before. And they go, have you played any video games in 20 years? No, I hate them.
I hate video games and I hate Mega Man. But here, go make.
But you know what I love? Money.
Oh, money just fucking. Oh, money, yeah. The thing is, there is a Mega Man racing game.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I know.
Awful.
It's from that man. He did it.
There's 2 Mega Man fighting games, a Mega Man racing game. It's all bad.
It's all bad. That is going to do it for our podcast. We are almost at 2 hours.
I lost track of time, like always.
We all did. State of Play had some interesting stuff. Take a look at it.
Yeah, well, before...
none of it is good as Nintendo Direct.
I'm sorry.
Because how could it be?
I gotta put a pin on that. I'm sorry. I know we're running late, but God, the Feudal Age Yakuza game looks sick. Sorry.
Yeah. It's a release. It's a Western release. This is a game that came out in Japan, didn't come out in America. They're finally releasing it here, so that's
that
neat.
Ronin game looks really cool. Sorry again.
Mm-hmm.
Looks fucking sick.
Yes. And Ragnarok.
And Ragnarok.
Looking great.
I'm not gonna say Nintendo did better. I'm just gonna say they kind of evened it out because PlayStation had a lot of good looking games and Nintendo had a lot of farm sims.
Nintendo legitimately just had to say like, "Hey, Breath of the Wild is coming out at some point in the future," and then they would have won. That's how I feel about it. And I'm right.
Fine.
So
I will agree with you this one.
I appreciate that. You can find us on social media in some places. I don't really know. You can also listen to us on any platform that you can listen to podcasts on. We are definitely there. Name a platform, we are
Spotify.
there. Unless you named an obscure platform that I don't know about, in which case we're still there. You're just not looking hard enough.
We're on you have ears, you can hear us. We're there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're there. And we are also on TikTok. We're also on YouTube. You can listen to our podcast on YouTube. And we are now on Twitch. We'll be recording our podcast live here every time we record. So, well, most of the times that we record, I will say. There will probably be times at which I'm like, maybe we don't do the podcast today. But we will keep you updated. Please follow the channel to stay abreast of whenever new streams happen.
Supple breasts. Keep them abroad. And we're gonna be we'll be streaming on there. Follow us everywhere because we're very funny, and I know you'll laugh.
Hey. We're very funny.
Listen.
That's what comedians do when they come out on stage. They say, "Hey, I'm very funny," just to get you warmed up for what's about to happen.
Only the good ones do. Listen.
True.
I'm not trying to fucking sniff my own farts. I'm just saying, yeah, we're funny.
I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw the word out there into the universe. Who knows what it means?
And just listen to us. What I mean, it could be true. It definitely is true. But you'll never know if you don't listen, which you should be doing.
Correct.
And as we do every episode every week, I'm gonna tell you that you should get all your anime protagonists, go to a fantasy land. Let your parents die, inherit a farm, and then go get them.
Go get them! Just Just hey, listen. I'm gonna get my 5 best friends, and you know what? We're all gonna jump in front of Truck Coon, and we're gonna get isekai'd into this fantabulous new anime. Wow, this is incredible. I wish that I had a farm though. Guess my parents gotta die.
Dude, I am so surprised there's not like an isekai farm sim where you start off as a normal guy and then you walk in front of a truck and you get isekai'd into farm life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people come by and they're like, you're never gonna grow anything out of this like shitty land, and then it turns out that you're like the god of forestry and just trees appear around you. They're like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, the only thing that people have grown here is debt. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, the only thing that's grown here is people getting old.
Yeah, poverty's rising. What are you gonna do? Well, I had this idea, that I would grow corn, and maybe I write a fantasy novel.
Yeah, I had a pretty good idea about a man with a laser sword in space.
It's never been done except by me, the master farmer, good old Giorgio Lucchio. Bye. Bye. Bye.